Shabbat Shalom. So I know where we are right now. I'm not sure where we will be next week. We may be in the chapel, we may be in the library, we may be in the social hall. We'll be in the building, that's all I know. And I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. We'll begin with Yedid Nefesh, page 14. We're just using the Sim Shalom tonight. They're in the back of the room. And when you're done at the end of service, please put them back on the shelf because all the chairs are being removed on Tuesday. Page 14. We turn to page 15 for the first of the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat. We sing together, page 16. Adonai shir Adonai kol haaretz shir Adonai Malchus shemo batsumi alei Yeshu Kato Saber Vagai Evodo Vechol Amim Niflota Ki Gadol Adonai Lameon Norahu Akol Elohim Maya Kikol Elohim Ha'amim Elilim Adonai Shamayim Asa Od V'Hadar Lepana Shetiferet V'Mikdasho Avol Adonai Mishpechot Amim Avol Adonai Kavod V'Hoz Avol Adonai Kevod Shemo Umincha U'lechatzrot Avai Nai V'karat Kodesh Shilu Mipana Kol Haaretz Simru V'Goyim Adonai Malach Kon Tevel Baal Timod Yadin Amim Lemesharim Yisbechu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz Hiramayam U'Melo'o V'Chol Asher Bo Siranenu Kol Hatziyah Lifnei Adonai Kiva Shpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel V'Tzedek Amim B'Emunato Yalai Lalai 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 We'll read responsibly page 17. Adonai is sovereign, let the world rejoice. God's throne is founded on justice, though God be clouded from view. Divine justice reveals God's presence. God's lightning illumines the earth, fire consumes God's foes, mountains melt like wax before Adonai, the earth trembles. Shame covers those who worship idols, those who take pride in revering images which must themselves bow low before God. You are supreme over all the earth, highly exalted beyond all that is worshipped. Where Zarua la tzaddik, u'shoelev simcha, light is stored for the righteous, joy for the honorable. Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous. Acclaim the holiness of God's name. And we'll sing together, page 18. Shul Adonai shir chadad, ki nivlot asa, Hoshia lo yamino, Ozro kadsho. Ani Adonai Yeshuato, Einei HaGoyim Kilatzit Kato, Zachar Haso Be'emunato, Levet Yisrael Ra'u Kol Afsei Haaretz, Et Yeshuat Eloheinu, Hariu L'Adonai Kol Haaretz, Pitzu V'ranenu V'zameh, Zamer Adonai v'chinar, v'chinar v'kol zimra, v'chatzotrot v'kol shofar, ariu lifnei hamelech Adonai, Yiramayam u'melo'o, tevel v'yoshveva, ne'arot shimcha ucha, v'yachad harim yiranin, Bnai Adonai kiva, lishpot haaretz, lishpot tevel v'tzedek, v'chorim v'mesharim, yalai la 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 la, yalai la 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 la, We'll turn on page 19. The desire to serve the divine, even when it's challenging. God rebukes those who make mistakes, but also gives them the opportunity to atone. If only we lived in a world where people took responsibility for their actions, but I won't, that's as far as I'm going this week. Page 19, we'll sing Romamu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'harkacho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. We rise, page 20 for Mizmor LeDavid. Adonai v'nelim havul Adonai kavod va'ozay havul Adonai kivot shemo ishtachavu Adonai arat kodesh kol Adonai v'hamayim el hakavod yirim Adonai Alamayim Rabim Kol Adonai Ba'koach Kol Adonai Kol Adonai Shover Razim V'shaver Adonai Et Arzei Alvanon V'yarkidem Kemo Egel Lebanon V'Sirion Kemo V'Reinim Maya Kol Adonai Chotzei Lavotesh Kol Adonai Achil Mibarei Achil Adonai Kol Adonai Olei Alon Vayecheso Yeharot Uchechalo Kulo Omer Kavonai Adonai Lama Vul Yeshua Yeshet Melech Le'olam Adonai Oz Yevarech et amo v'shalom Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yai lai 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 La 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 seated. Oh. Time for my favorite part of Kabbalat Shabbat, Lecha Dodi. We'll do the first three stanzas on 21, and then we'll turn the page to 22 for the last three stanzas. Lecha Dodi, Lika Likat Kala, Bnei Bnei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Lika Likat Kala, Bnei Bnei Shabbat Nekabela, la 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 la. Shabbat Dodi, Likat Kala, Bnei Bnei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likat Kala, Bnei Bnei Shabbat Nekabela. Mor bezachor beribur echad, yishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'liti la 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 la, lecha dodi lika likat kalam, Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi lika likat kalam. Nikrat Shabbat lechu ki mekor beracha merosh mikedem nesucha sov ma'as b'makshavati la 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 lecha dodi lika likat kalam pnei pnei lecha dodi lika likat kalam pnei pnei Shabbat nekabelam. Dash melech ir melucha, kum mitzai mitoch afecha rav lach shevet v'yemecha v'cha, v'chu yachmol alaychem la 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 lecha dodi lika likat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi lika likat kala. V'hayilim shisa shosahir, v'rachaku kol mevalayich, sisalayich Elohayim, kisos katan akala la 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 lecha dodi lika likat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi likat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Min usmol tifroti, ve'et Adonai taritzi, al yadi ish ben partzi, v'nismecha v'nagi la 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 lecha dodi likat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi pnei Shabbat nekabela. Bo'i v'shalom עצרת בעולם, גם בשמחה ופצוח עולה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה. בואי חלה לה 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 לה, lecha dodi lika likat kala, pnei pnei may be seated. The song for Shabbat, page 23. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודו לאדוני, ולזמר לשבחך עליון, לזמר לשבחך עליון. בוקר חסדך, אמונתך בלילות, אסור בו legayon kinor bizmor shir leyom hashabbat ve'oto l'Adonai ulezaher l'shimcha elyon ulezaher l'shimcha elyon. Kasama yifrach erez balanon shetulim vevet Adonai atzrot Eloheinu Sheinim verananim yiyu Hagid ki ashar Adonai Urim elo avlatavo. And the last of the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, page 24. Adonai malach ehud lavish lavish Adonai otitazah tikon tevel baltimot kon kisacha me'alamata sehu le'arot Adonai na'sehu le'arot kolam yisu le'arot tochiam Mikolot ma'im rabim adirim mishpereim Adir v'marom Adonai edotecha nenu meyon Levet kanava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. So, in the Torah this week, we are at the very end of the book of Vayikra. We are reading tomorrow B'chukotai, with these chukim, these laws. And we have the idea of reward and punishment, the idea of free will. We have a whole list of the blessings that will come if we do what we're supposed to, and a whole list of the curses if we don't. And at the same time, so we're standing here, we are in this moment, we are still at Sinai. And then next week, we begin Bamidbar. In English, it's called the Book of Numbers because it opens with the census, because if you're going to get ready for a military campaign, you got to know who's there. And yet I think this is a very interesting moment, the moment right before you leave. And of course, there's all the jokes about the different nationalities and their goodbyes, and the French goodbye, you leave and never tell anyone, and the Jewish goodbye, you say goodbye and never leave. I've heard it with in other groups too. But that moment of that changing, in the Jewish tradition, there's a halacha, a law, that you're not really supposed to let someone just walk out of your house. That if you have a guest, you're supposed to walk them to the door. And it's not just so that you stand in the doorway for the next 20 minutes and not actually leave, but it's to show respect. I don't know if this is a law that people are so familiar with, although many people probably do it without thinking about it. It seems like a nice thing to do. Unless they're like your family or your best friend, you're like, okay, see ya. But, for most people, you have somebody over, it's nice to see you, okay, have a nice day. But that moment, where everything is about to change can be a powerful moment. And so often, we're thinking about where we're going and we're thinking about where we've been, but that moment right before can be hard to stick to. And at this moment, it's a time of all these graduations. I mean, Hannah had their 5th grade graduation the other day, which is adorable. Don't ask me what the 5th grade student council president said. I wasn't, the speech was not so memorable, but she was cute, And, Rabbi Lever, next door, his daughter is just graduating from high school and getting ready to start college. And, this time of year is that moment for so many people where their lives are shifting a little bit. And in a way, I played guitar with at Toby Weinman, and then had dinner over there. And right now they're doing some work on the kitchen, so they have this temporary kitchen set up, and the kitchen itself is all under construction. And then I come back over here, and we're tearing out the wallpaper and tearing up the floors and getting ready to move the chairs. And it's this moment of, okay, we're in this little messy moment. And can we find the blessing in the mess before we make it all beautiful again? Because I think that's the hardest part. I look in my office and all the books are gone because they're in boxes, and I get anxious. But how do I turn that anxiety into blessing and say, okay, this is an opportunity to reorganize. This is an opportunity to think about, what do I want? Where do I want it? How do I want everything set up again? Do I want it exactly the way it was? Do I want to do something different? And it also makes me think of another Shabbat law, which is, the laws of the Sabbath, of the 39 melachot, the categories of work we're not supposed to do, were about, the rabbis understood, the building of the Mishkan, the setting up of the sacred space along our journey. And one of them is about tearing things down. You're not supposed to tear things down. And one of them is you're not supposed to build things up again. But I would say a small caveat on the tearing down part. Now, if you were just knocking things over just because you like knocking things over, that's not a biblical violation of the Sabbath. It may be a rabbinic violation. You're still not supposed to knock things over. But the biblical violation is destroying in order to build versus wanton destruction. And it really makes me think, especially as I'm watching destroying in order to build, that sometimes they can look like the same thing, knocking something down before building something beautiful, or just knocking something down. In that initial mess, it can look like chaos. But when we're trying to create something new or renew, it can be a holy process. Whereas if it's destruction for the sake of destruction, the holiness is not there. And so on Shabbat, when we are trying to have this time of rest, we have to be even more careful to not to tear down and not to build, but to be present in the moment. And in so many ways, just like that threshold of the doorway, just like watching the kids go off to college, just like starting a new adventure, just like going on a journey, it's that moment right before that can have a lot of meaning if we're just open to it. Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to turn to page 28. Come on, we need 2 more people. Where are you? 2 more people. Page 28, the middle of the page. Baruch atah Adonai.
Shema Echad Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamarim Haravi.
Page 29.
Tolam Bet Yisrael Havta Torah u'mitzvot
אותו כמו משפטים, תנו לימדתו. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, שקרנו וקומנו, בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם היינו ואורך ימינו, אורך ימינו, הם נגע יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה.
מעוותך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו
Israel. Page 30.
מלך נאמן.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kol Tanabed.
ואהבת את
Adonai Elohecha bechol לבבך
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך
היו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך יום על לבבך
ושיננת לבניך
ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך היו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם
המזוזות ביתך
ובשעריך. והיה משמעת שפתי אשר נוקי מצרים. והיה מנה משלם לו.
אדוני אלוהיכם
אמת, אמת במלך חזקנו.
ומלכותו מרצון קיבלו עליהם משה בני ישראל החדו שירה ושמחה
הרבה יאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אליהם.
מהותך רומנך בוקע ים לפני משה
ואלינו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד ונאמר כי פדנה את יעקב גלו מרזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גא ישראל. We'll read on the 33, the right side of the page, just below the line. As a mother comforts her children, so I myself will comfort you, says Adonai, and you will find peace in Jerusalem. Past troubles will be forgotten, hidden from sight. Jerusalem will be a delight, her people a joy, and you will find peace in Jerusalem. None shall hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain, says the Creator whose throne is in heaven, says Adonai who seeks peace in Jerusalem. Each month, at the new moon, each week on Shabbat, all people, all my children shall worship me, says Adonai, who will also find peace and consolation in Jerusalem. So we turn to page 34 for the Vishamru, and then following the Vishamru, or we rise for a Vishamru, and then we take a few moments for our personal prayer, giving thanks for the gift of creation, for the gift of rest, and the gift, God willing, to see of peace. Bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, Doratam berit olam, beshameru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, Doratam berit olam. Bnei Yisrael, le'olam, oti le'olam, beshameru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'dorotam berit olam. Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz v'shameru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'dorotam berit olam. Shvi'i Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, le'dorotam berit olam. Page 47, when you finished your personal prayer.
ויקולו השמיים מהארץ בכל צבאם ויקול
אלוהים היום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה ויבהד ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ברך אלוהים את יום השביעי קדש אותו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. The Kiddush for Shabbat, page 49.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר
קידשנו מצוותיו ורצה בנו בשבת קדשו באהבה ורצון הנהילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תהילה למקראי קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים ארתה ואותנו קידשת שבת קודשך יהבה ורצון אותנו בקודש השבת Amen. We'll turn to Aleinu, page 51.
עלינו לשמח לדורתו, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשה כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם כמקנו כהם, ולא ראינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ ומושל יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בלעלי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אלוהינו אמת רבנו אמת זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו ידעת היום מחשבותה אל לבבך כי אדוני הנאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד
ושמו We remember Stuart Skopp, Warren Cutler, Irving Maurer, Flora Flaster, David Kravitz, Morton Bergen, Jack David Rosenberg, Sam Einstein, Ann J. Martin Friedman, Sima Reingold, Arlene Reiskin, Gertrude Jacobson, David Hagendorf, Janice Cook, Irving Zwerin, Jenny Wind, Bessie Weissman, Evelyn Levine, Phil Wallace, Louis Fichtenbaum, Arthur Vorab, Herzl Hyman, Charles Robert Shapiro, David Levine, Bertha Sussman, Evelyn Zakalek, Sylvia Tenenbaum, Martin William Perlman, Luba Rosen, and Ben Blacksburg. Page 52. Yitgadal v'yitkadash merabam. Be'alma divrach rotei v'yamlech malchutei. B'chayechon v'yamechon v'chayei tichol Beit Yisrael. B'agalav v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehe shmei rabam avorach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richum. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata, dameran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imru ma, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. So while I will not be here next week, we have a lot going on. I will be here tomorrow, and tomorrow is Simchat Shabbat. So amidst all of the chaos, we're still having some lunch tomorrow, and cake and celebration. As I said, next Friday night and Saturday services will be in the building, the location TBD. And then the following week, I will be back for Shavuot. Shavuot on Tuesday the 11th. We'll have a program in the evening at 8 o'clock with cheesecake and study. And then Shavuot services Wednesday and Thursday morning, and then Friday night, the 14th, services will not be here. We will go down the street to Pasadena, to Temple Beth El. We're going to do Pride Shabbat B'Yachad together, and that will be at 6 p.m. And Dr. Danny Rosenkrantz will be giving a presentation on queer Jewish joy and inclusion for the LGBTQIA plus community. Hey Marv, happy almost birthday. On June 22nd, we're going to have a special Kiddush for Marv's birthday. And also, I need your help. So in March 2025, we're going to do Shabbat at Sea. And it's going to be on Royal Caribbean. We'll go out of Tampa. We'll leave Thursday, come back on Monday. We'll have Shabbat dinner together, and we'll bring a Torah on board and have, the whole shebang. In order to make this actually happen, we need at least 10 deposits by the end of July, or the 1st of July. So in this month, well, it's May 31st. In June, if you would like to join us, make a reservation. There should be a flyer out there, or back there, or somewhere. And it also should be on the website, in the spiel. Call the travel agent, book a room, and I think this is going to be fun. It's a little different, should be exciting, and so come join us. And so we'll conclude with Yigdal on page 53.
Yigdal Elohim Chai
V'yishtabach Zavierei Tzimutakuf Merachelav Kedushato קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון וראשית לראשיתו. הנה אדון עולם וכל נוצר, וגדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, שסגולתו ותפארתו. בישראל כמו שעוד נביא, ומביט את אמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל, היה נביאו נאמן ביתו, לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו, גומל איש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רק כרשעתו, שלח לקט שמים משיחנו, לפתור מהקקת ששועתו, מתים מחייל ברוב אסתו, ברוך ה' עד שם תהילתו, מתים מחייל ברוב אסתו, ברוך ה' עד שם תהילתו. So Shabbat Shalom for my Friday night friends. So I'll see you in 2 weeks at Bethel. For everyone that comes tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom.